Even hurricanes, right? So people bet on hurricanes. What category is it going to get to? Is it going to get named? How bad is it going to be?
That I can't bet on weather. I can't bet on nature. There's nothing.
Let me ask you before
exciting.
I was going to say
people bet on children all the time. Is it a boy or a girl?
Before you finish that, is it that you can't bet on weather because it is a devastating thing and not a good thing to bet on? Or is it because it's so unpredictable that you'll probably lose?
See, now I feel like you're wording that to make me sound like a bad person.
It's because it's unpredictable. The latter, isn't it? It's the latter.
It's the latter. Now, see, here's the thing. I wasn't even thinking about how bad it was. I'm thinking, is it going to be sunshiny or rainy today? My thought, see, no, but that's the thing, though, too, about betting on things that will disconnect you. You don't think about how people are actually losing their homes and lives in these storms because it's on a betting app.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. If you're watching this episode,
it hasn't been a while. You haven't posted the other episodes.
I haven't posted the other ones, so you're going to see. It's going to be very strange seeing this because 2 episodes before this, I had a full fucking beard. The next episode, I'm clean shaven, and then this one, I have a little beard, and that just goes to show you that in the last month, I haven't uploaded anything. And we did take a while, like we didn't record for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks in between.
Yep. So the episodes that you're going to see.
So I apologize.
Are also way later.
The plan is that. So what? A little bit of backstory with this. I bought a new computer, and I just plugged in the new computer and never fucking finished what I was doing on the old one. And I thought, I'll just transfer everything over to the new one. And then I started having issues with like DaVinci, and I thought it had the cloud. I apparently don't have cloud access. When you buy the software, you don't get cloud access. You have to pay for that separately.
Is that like their subscription, the cloud service?
Yeah. So I had all of the videos and everything, all the assets for recording episodes on the old PC, not the new PC. I still haven't transferred everything over to the new PC because I discovered the SATA port where because all the stuff that for recording is on an HDD, not an SSD, which is
made up. It's not like you made that up.
It's easier to swap those out because they just pop right in and you plug it in to the port on your motherboard. On my new PC, the port where that HDD goes, it pops in, but the cable hookup is hidden at the bottom of the motherboard behind the fans. And in order to take the fans out, I have to take the power supply unit out to get to the screws to pull the fans out. So I have to basically take my PC apart to put the fucking hard drive in.
Like, I know what we should do. Given today's topic, we should place bets on how long it's going to take Brock to do all
this. Because today we're talking about degenerate gambling, specifically the gambling apps. And
do you like what I did there?
I love them. I do. That was good. It was good. That was a good segue.
What about the gamble? Let's place a bet on how long it takes for me to actually
how long it takes you.
All right.
Yeah.
Make your bets, everybody. Make your bets. And by the time you see this, you'll know in the next episode who won the bet. So the Super Bowl has come and gone. By the way, what the fuck?
Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch it. because the Chicago Bears didn't make it, so I didn't give a fuck.
I didn't understand the Bears show.
Dude, the Bears had a great season. I don't care. They weren't projected to have a good season at all, and they exceeded expectations. To Caleb Williams,
So the Cowboys.
That fucking pass to go into overtime was insane. I watched that. I actually watched that happen. I haven't watched games in forever. I watched it as that happened. And I'm like,
I'm back in.
They're like, this game's over with. But they call them the cardiac bears for a reason, and that's one of them. Is that like for some reason, at the last minute, the Bears have been pulling off miracles to get them either tied up for overtime or ahead.
It's like me in bed.
That's Jags, dude. Cardiac cats.
And dude, he fucking threw this, what was it, like a 50, 60-yard bomb for a touchdown on 4th down.
That's awesome.
With like 10 seconds left to go into overtime, and it landed. And I'm like, there is in no fucking world does that ever happen.
Yeah.
I've never seen it happen.
I have
Crazy
another
one
bet to place for people to place in the comments. Place your bets. How often are we going to get off topic in this episode?
Yeah, that's another bet you can make. But go on.
Ooh, I'm gonna go for 8. Is my
Oh,
I'm locking that in.
you're
Anyway,
talking the shit.
you're talking about that. That is a crazy play. In the beginning of the season, old T-Law, Trevor Lawrence against Kansas City Chiefs lined up. We should lose the game. We're right there at the goal line with just a couple minutes left. He drops back, trips on his ass, goes to get up, trips again, walks it into the end zone. And he was dropping back to hand it off for a running back to run it in the end zone. He fell with the ball and then ran it into the end zone. And the Chiefs kind of just watched it because they thought their dudes would get up there and tag him. And he just dodged him by just so much. Got it in. It was awesome. Great play. Anyway.
So the Super Bowl, I was really hoping the Bears would make it this year, and they didn't, unfortunately. But anyway, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in a long time. But the ads has always been the staple for the Super Bowl. And this year, it was nothing but AI.
That's not true. It was like a third of it.
Bullshit, it was a third of it. Almost all of it was like pushing an AI app, AI software, or they were AI generated.
It was AI, crypto, and gambling. That's pretty
okay.
Good.
That's not better.
And Budweiser. Don't forget Budweiser every year.
Whatever happened to the fun Doritos commercials?
Doritos literally didn't even do a commercial this year.
That's crazy.
I think when it gets to a point that you're just making so much money, you're like, why would we spend all that cash on a Super Bowl?
And you know what?
People are going to buy us anyways.
That makes the point even crazier is that why did people spend so much money for a commercial slot if it was just going to be AI slop?
Dude, speaking of AI,
it's great.
AI.com was one of the biggest talked about commercials. It's the largest domain purchase of all time because it would previously go to ChatGPT or OpenAI. And I went to the website. It crashed first of all when you went because immediately after that commercial, literally everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?" And they went and the servers were like,
just died.
And then I checked it out a day after, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" It doesn't even tell you what the site is. This is like secure your username now. I'm like, for what?
That's crazy.
And I want you to pay for it. I'm like, what am I paying for?
That's crazy. Actually, and this kind of goes along with more news on NVIDIA. NVIDIA has now announced that they will not be making new GPUs in 2026.
So I have the final NVIDIA GPU?
Pretty much. They will not be making new GPUs going in 2026 to focus all efforts into AI. And OpenAI, who is the largest AI company right now,
bailed them out.
No, they are on track to go broke and bankrupt by the end of the year because of how much money it costs. That was the other thing. It was the thing we didn't talk about was the cost because I didn't know the cost. I couldn't find anything about it. The cost to run data centers is insane. One data center, the amount, it's like, I think with all the data centers they have, they would have to spend $2 trillion a year to be profitable. And almost $1 trillion of that is towards expenses for maintaining data centers, for water, for electric. The amount of power one data center draws is enough to power an entire city.
All right, I'm placing bets. When is the AI bubble going to pop?
Right. And so at the amount, they are burning more money than they can make, which is why ChatGPT is going to start rolling ads soon. They're burning so much money.
Free users probably.
I don't know. They're burning through money so fast that they are projected to go broke within 12 to 18 months.
Wow.
Because
that's impressive.
Because no company has ever, you need to make $2 trillion a year to stay profitable and stay afloat.
I mean, ads though, like our our economy is literally based around fucking ads.
Even
companies
with
that try to go
even
without
with that,
ads,
like you
have
have
to end up having ads.
Google and Amazon, which are the two like the two top companies in the world, don't even make that much money compared to what OpenAI will need to make in order to stay profitable because of how much they spend versus how much they earn. Amazon and Google earn way more than they'll spend. OpenAI does not.
Well, yeah, every company is like that in the beginning.
But that's even still in the beginning, yes, you will always spend more than you'll make and to stay afloat, but you need to make, but no company has ever needed to make 2 trillion to stay afloat. That's like a quarter of the fucking US debt right now. Maybe even
That's
half.
so wild.
It's more, that's more than the GDP of most countries by a lot.
I don't even know how much of in debt we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're at several trillion, but OpenAI needs to make around 2 trillion in order to stay profitable and not go under. For a Kickstarter company, that is impossible. No company in the history of ever has been able to do has ever needed to be that profitable and have been able to hold on to it.
38.5 trillion is how much we're in debt. So
yeah, fuck, we're fucked.
I just looked up the national debt clock. It's 38.6. Get it right. I'm just kidding. And man, look at this thing go up.
Google was a second off. It must have crossed the threshold.
I don't want to talk about this. It makes me so sad.
Right. You want to know how we pay off the U.S. national debt?
Killing all the pedophiles.
We set a 30-leg parlay on college football next year, and we bank.
I don't even know what that means, dude.
You just spoke a whole different language to me. You could have been.
So the way a parlay
explaining
the only thing I know about parlay is Pirates of the Caribbean, bro.
Parlay.
Parlay. Bad Bunny. You're a Bad Bunny at the halftime show to me right now because I have no fucking clue what you're saying.
That was so good. So a 30-leg parlay, a parlay, if you will. You can have many legs of a parlay. You go on to a sports betting app or your bookie or whatever, and you go, hey, I'm going to open up a leg. I think Travis Etienne is going to get a touchdown at any point in his game this week. Okay, here's $5. You'll make $2, so you'll get $7 back. All right, let me open up another leg on that, actually. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to throw for 300 yards. Oh, that's a little bit more interesting. Same $5, but now you can make $25. Let me open up a third leg, and you just keep betting on players to do certain things in their games, right? And you can open up, I think the most legs I've ever done is 10, right? And you're betting on everything on that sheet to be correct. And the more of them that you have, the more money you can make because it's riskier, right? Because it's most of the time when you have those big sheets, nobody wins. It's very rare that someone wins a big parlay like that, which is why they're so fun, and which is why like sports betting, in my opinion, is so big. And it's what got me, because I can go in and be like, let me bet on 10 players at one time for $10. And if it hits, I make $3,000. Has that ever happened? No, because it doesn't happen. Like it's very rare that 10 people do everything that you bet for. And the way that they set like where it's going to happen, right? Like whether it's going to be over or under, they take their stats and kind of boost it a little bit, So it's not easy for them to do. Sometimes you would believe, yes, absolutely, Travis Etienne will get a touchdown in a game because he's a running back and he's one of their weapons to get into the end zone and the red zone. But then oftentimes he gets to the 1 yard line and then they throw a slant route to the tight end and you never get your it never hits because you never know what's going to happen. It's awesome. I love it.
You sound like a degenerate gambler.
If I were willing to bet on my level of understanding,
I lost my house and my family. It's so much fun and worth it.
okay, hold on. It's fun. It's fun when you're like doing it with money that you're like, I don't need this. I would spend this
I need all the money.
on an
I need all of my
energy
money.
drink today, and be like, I'll just skip the energy drink and have coffee at home, and I'll throw a couple bucks into this.
Dude,
or I would
okay.
spend that on McDonald's that I wanted today.
So the problem,
I'll just
the problem
frugal.
with that though is, so with these sports betting and even just betting apps like what we're seeing now, is that it is so easy to make these ridiculous bets all the time.
They're micro bets. That's what they are.
And
depends how
it's
much
very
you're putting in.
easy to fall down the rabbit hole of becoming a degenerate gambler, a gambling addict, because he says it with this fucking smile on his face. Yeah, it's great. And it's like, no, that's bad. That's really,
like,
really bad.
Dopamine.
In fact,
Dopamine.
there's a show that I used to watch all the time called Financial Audit on YouTube.
Is that the guy that tells people that they're not
Yes.
disabled?
Yeah, it's the dude on YouTube that goes through people's finances, and he's got a problem with fucking disabled vets because
He's got a problem with disabled people.
particularly
doesn't
vets.
like
He's like, there's no veteran in the history of this show that isn't a disabled veteran. It's almost like he thinks that all of us are cheating the system or something.
Well, he doesn't understand the difference between civilian disabled
Right.
versus military disabled.
That's the biggest thing is that he doesn't know the difference. He looks at VA disability the same light as normal disability for everybody else, and it's not.
No,
And
not
for
even the
those
same rules.
It's not the same rules. If you think about it like this, VA disability is workman's comp for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Because you joined the service completely 100% healthy. You left the service not 100% healthy. And the reason why is because of things that happened to you during that service. The government is going to now compensate you for that. Like for me, I didn't have back issues and trauma and all kinds of other bullshit before I left. I left with it. I came out like, hey, I have to fucking brace myself when I sneeze. And everyone's like, well, you're almost 40 years old. Everyone's got back problems. Mine were onset from injuries sustained in service. Like it's, otherwise I would have been more than likely completely fine. So yeah.
Civilian one, like you have to not be able to work.
Right. And the VA, no, you don't have to not be able to work. Now there is a stipulation with, there's a type of VA disability called unemployable. Basically, it says you're disabled. You get a special compensation because you can't work. Right? It's an additional thing that you make more money from it because you can't work. But that also means you can't work at all, meaning you can't make a certain amount of money per year, even if you start your own business and it doesn't require you to do shit. You still can't make that amount of money. And this guy thinks that VA disability is the same as in the same category. Even more so, he had a guest on that was infantry. This is the other thing. He thinks that you need to have deployed and been shot or something in order for to be paid for the rest of your life, which is the typical that's things that people would think, right? I have this too with someone back home. He's like, yeah, you were in the military, but you didn't do anything, and I'm like, did you join? No. Then shut the fuck up. Because I did do stuff. I just don't talk to you about it. Yeah. No. Did I go to Afghanistan? No. Did I get shot at? Not in that context. It was more of an accident on a range, but
they were back shots. They were back shots.
Thanks, Greeks.
Yeah.
We were in a truck. We're just like, oh, they're shooting at us. Get down.
Did you say Greeks?
Yeah.
That was the same for me. We were in.
Why are they shooting us?
We were in Greece on a training area, and it was like it was like a room, like a CQB room clearing course that we were doing with them, and the machine gun range was apparently on the fucking other side of it. So rounds were zipping over our fucking heads, and it was the range wasn't supposed to be hot.
That's wild.
And I was just like, all I hear is, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
so for those that are betting now home, I'm making a tally of how many times did we get off topic.
So I didn't get, to be clear, it was just like, I got shot at. It wasn't like, people were actively trying to shoot me. But no, just because I didn't get blown up or in combat, which by the way, if I actually found this out, then the percentage of veterans who deploy that have actually been in a firefight is actually pretty low.
It's really low.
Mm-hmm. It's just what's talked about.
I want to say it's about 5% of dudes that deployed were in firefights. 5 or 10%. It's a very small amount. And that's ones that deployed. So apparently getting in a firefight was not as common as you think it is.
At all.
But yeah, so it's literally just luck of the draw, you know. But it doesn't and you know what? If that didn't happen to you, then you know it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You still did your time. You still did some shit. Like you were constantly at a state of readiness. You sacrificed your body to be at that level of readiness. And
how do we get here?
Well, we were talking about finances. Anyway, aside from that, one of the common things I see with guests on his show is that they are addicted to these betting apps.
Because it's micro gambling. It's literally taking phone games with the microtransactions and like, a little here, a little here, a little
but
there.
You can earn money from it.
And it's not. I wouldn't even call it micro gambling because you
Micro
can
betting.
go on there. It's not micro at all. You can go on there and go, I'm going to put $10,000 on this.
Yeah, I can do that on a mobile game.
So what he meant by micro gambling is that you can do multiple small bets in a micro.
You don't have to spend a lot. You can be like, I'm only spending $3 on this.
Like what you're
$2 on this bet.
Like what you're doing.
Like what I'm doing. I understand. So like that's how people fall into it.
Right.
It's through micro betting.
Yes.
And then it becomes
because
bigger. I understand.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's the micro betting.
Yeah, bitch.
Because no one goes into this gambling shit and just says, I have 10 grand. I'm going to put a bet on this. No one ever does. I mean, unless you have you're rich and you do it.
Talk about 10 grand.
But everybody that starts off has always started off with small bets that sometimes hit, and they keep chasing that dopamine of a hit bet, right?
Dopamine.
And now it's like it never used to be as easily accessible, which is why gambling addicts were only like people that were tied to casinos. So then you started seeing it happen on your computer, online gambling. My grandma got involved with this. My grandma was a huge online gambler and this was back in the early 2000s. Like she would get on her computer, she'd be on her computer till late at night because she's placing bets and shit. It's like slot machine games that you can win real money off of. And she ended up this is crazy. She ended up blowing so much money on this that my grandpa threatened to divorce her.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. That's not.
Did she ever blow anybody for more gambling money?
No. My grandparents, my grandparents had money. That was the thing, right? So my grandpa, my grandpa was a millionaire. I found this out after he died, which
you were not his favorite grandson, apparently.
I got the most out of all of them. I just spent it all.
On online gambling. That's why he hates it.
No, I bought I blew it on stupid shit. But
hookers and blow.
But no, so I had money left behind for me. My brother had money left behind for him, and my sister had money left behind for her. All three of us. And I had the most because he put money aside for me because I was the first. So when I was a kid, he put it away for me. And then when my brother was born, he put some away for him. And then it just grew. So he had money, but he spent it on like investments, like property and stuff, which ended up getting sold, and all that money's gone now. So anyway, he had money put away, and my grandma just blew a bunch of it on gambling. And now it's on your fucking phone, right? So you have, and that's why we're actually seeing younger people become gambling addicts than ever before.
Because it's made its way into games, quite literally.
Yes. Oddly enough, Epstein had something to do with that one. Which I know we weren't going to
that. So
no, what do you mean you debunked that? He talked to Bobby Kotick about.
I understand. I went into the details of it, and it was taken out of context.
How?
It was clipped. It was almost like clipped out of context. The emails did say that, but it wasn't in relation to what the full emails were talking about for that. Does that make sense?
Either way.
I just lost a bet.
What was your bet?
I was playing high-low. I lost.
Wow. Are we not interesting enough for you? You need more dopamine?
No, I was doing that just as a bit. Thanks for ruining it. I was
High-low?
gambling.
Oh, I thought you meant you
High-low.
actually placed a bet as a bit, and then if you and like
I did.
the result of that bet was going to, you actually placed a bet
Just now.
and you lost it.
What was the bet?
I lost.
Fuck.
What was the bet?
What did you
It
bet
wasn't
on?
any real money. I didn't do actual real money. They had an option between money and coins, and I'm like, I don't want to actually lose money. It was like you select red or blue, and then they put down 2 cards, and then after like 10 seconds, they flip them, and if you guess which side was higher, you win.
You could have easily
It
just
sounds-
lied to us and told us you lost like $30.
I know, but I didn't feel right lying.
This is like
I
you
was
ever seen
told-
You
National
could have
Lampoon's
told,
Vegas
but you
Vacation?
could have told me the truth after.
I know.
Look at that.
I might do real
Look
money
at
now.
that. The content creator is ruining the content for himself.
Hold on.
Oh, he's actually going to place a real bet. See, we pressured him now.
Hold on.
Did we? Or did we just really give him an excuse?
Hold on.
Hang on. He's yeah, we've this is why he wanted to talk about, like, he brought this topic up. We were going to talk about cults. Doc was like, yeah, we're talk about sports betting. It sounds more fun. And now we're going to talk about betting. And then here we got over here fucking leaving Las Vegas, betting on his fucking.
Did I ever tell you where I'm going on my honeymoon?
No.
Is it
Where
Vegas?
you going? Is it Vegas?
Las Vegas. Yeah.
You know where I went on my honeymoon?
I don't have my wallet on me. It's
another
upstairs, and I
country.
don't want to go get it.
You know where I went on my honeymoon?
Viking land.
Where?
Norway.
Ooh, that's nice.
It was cheaper than going anywhere in the States.
I told my
believe
wife
that.
I brought her to Hawaii. This is our
Which
honeymoon
is
for
which
the
is
next 2
crazy,
years.
right? So like we went the amount of money that we spent total on our honeymoon to another country for almost a month was about $5,000. That's including Airbnb, car rental, food while we were there, drinks while we were there, anything we wanted to do while we were there.
Okay.
We rented an electric car because almost all their cars are electric in Norway, and didn't pay a dime to charge it.
Ooh, that's nice.
Because if you rent a Tesla from
Stop betting.
I'm not betting.
if you rent a Tesla from Hertz, it's free to charge them at a Tesla station, which, by the way, in Norway they're everywhere. So
That's nice.
I didn't pay to
It's like a
charge.
little crack
I didn't pay
addict.
to charge this thing at all, which is great. So we ended up saving money because it was going to be like $5,000 just to go somewhere here in the States, somewhere nice. And I was like, "Fuck that! We're going to another country. It's cheaper."
Did you do any banding over there?
Do I do what?
Did you do any gambling over there?
No, I don't think gambling is legal there. I didn't see a single casino.
All right, here we go.
All right, what's your
I'm in.
bet? What's your bet now?
Should I do high-low, or should I do like a roulette thing?
Do
Or
roulette?
how about a hand
seen-
of blackjack? Everybody likes blackjack.
You ever seen?
Well, hang on.
National
No,
Lampoon's
blackjack
Vegas
requires you
Vacation?
to pay attention to the game and not the fucking show. So we're not gonna.
No, I'm doing
we're not gonna
one- I'm
play
doing one
games.
flip.
All right,
I'm doing one flip.
Do one flip.
You ever seen Vegas Vacation from National
Yes.
Lampoon?
Yes.
I feel like this is what we're doing right now. Like a war, fucking high or low. Which hand is it in? These are my kind of games.
You want me to flip the camera so y'all can see?
Sure.
Here we are on this journey. I can't see shit.
All right, I'm at 13. I'm gonna hit on 13. Oh, I hate it. I'm gonna get a 10. Okay, we're gonna stand on 16.
It's terrible.
I lost. I
Terrible
got
stand.
21. That was
It's a
$5
terrible stand.
down the drain.
We're witnessing.
That's $5. That's $5.
We're
gone.
witnessing the problem in real time. Everybody.
You see how fast it is, guys? How fast you could just lose money. But so the betting now. The other thing is about betting apps is how predatory they are, mostly because of their design, right?
Mhm.
They're designed to be flashy and fun and stuff, and it's clearly geared to hook younger people.
Oh yeah, that's the dopamine aspect. Like every time you hear a zing, you get that little hit, and you're like, "Ooh, I want that again."
Here's the opposite. Well, hold on. I'm not an addict. I'm not a gambling addict as much as I'm playing to that character
That's
right
what
now.
addicts say.
That right there, that $5 that just went boop. I won't touch that website for 3 months.
That's how
I'm done. I'm so mad right now. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? That was so stupid.
But you brought it upon yourself.
I know. So I can't be like completely mad at myself, but I'm a little like, well, fuck.
Oh, you don't have the itch to just say, well, that was just that one hand. Let's go again.
Let's go to another site. Maybe we'll win better there.
Really no.
That's good. So you're not like a true gambling addict. You just think it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun to do from time to time. Like that moment, I'm like, I think it's the first thing I've gambled on in 3 months.
We'll reassess at the end of this episode. We'll see.
So the one time I went to a casino once in my life, and this is the last time I gambled. I went there with $100. I lost it all on slots. Within 30 minutes, and I was like, this isn't for me. Because I hated that. I was like, well, I mean, I brought it because it's like if you go to a casino or something, you go with money that you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
Not with money that you're hoping to come come out on top. No, you go there with a certain amount that you're willing to lose. Now, the gambling addict will try to justify being able to lose more until they have nothing.
I'm almost there. We're almost up.
So, but this also goes like with the other issue with these betting apps, because it's not just sports betting. People are now able to bet on everything. Literally everything. And I saw that, and I didn't really understand until the election. People were betting on the fucking election, which, by the way,
people have been doing that for years.
I know, but it's illegal to do that.
I mean, technically,
it is illegal to do that. There are just certain apps. I even tried looking this up. Find me looking for articles about like gambling on politics, and it was like the first things that pop up are like, these are the top legal sites to go to bet on politics, and it's like, that's
Kalshi, one of them.
I don't know. I didn't care enough to look, but the point with it is like, that's dangerous. And the reason why that's dangerous is because you can sway an election like that. Right? Because you know for a fact, like with this last election, people were like, there's no, like, you had the people that were like, most of people didn't, not most, I don't know, really know. A lot of people did not think Trump would win again.
That's how you talk to.
And they just fucking placed their bets like, there's no way. This is a for sure win. And then they lost their money, clearly. And people that...
I think it depends on what part of the country you're in.
I don't know. I almost think the parlay was going to be by how many fucking electoral votes he won by.
So online gambling has actually taken a new turn in like the structure of it. So there's this app called Kalshi. I know I mentioned it in the group chat.
You just mentioned it before too.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, like, explained it in the group chat.
Polymarket's another one.
So it's probably the same. But
Polymarket was the one that I saw the most on on articles and shit.
So what they're doing now to make gambling legal in all 50 states is not doing yes or no bets. It's trading on the outcome. So it works like the stock market. For example, you could bet on the Jags to go to the Super Bowl. And I had a buddy that did this, and he used Kalshi. As they won their games, he was making money. They weren't at the Super Bowl, obviously, but he was able to have the option to pull out and make money because more people saw how well they were doing, and they went to this website and said, I'm going to go all in on this Jaguars going to the Super Bowl stock. And then if it doesn't hit, the stock ends and you lose it.
That just makes me think that the NFL is even more rigged.
Well, that's the funny part too about the NFL and pro sports at all. So the mafia obviously has a huge market in illegal and underground gambling. A lot of players, since they are not allowed to gamble on sports, they will go to the mafia to do it underground, to hide it. Well, a lot of these dudes, since they have so much money and they're in their early 20s, they would go through all their money through the mafia, lose it, then borrow money from the mafia because they have these contracts and they're going to get all the money back and be able to pay them. Who cares? But I'm probably going to win this bet. And then when they didn't and they couldn't pay the mafia back because they were millions of dollars in debt, the mafia would say, if you don't throw the game, we're going to kill somebody in your family or we're going to break your knees and you're never going to play again. So players would go out and intentionally fumble the ball, intentionally, throw it out of bounds, do whatever to lose the game because they had the mafia on their back. And the mafia was able to be like, you need to do this. We're going to bet on your opponent to win. You have to throw the game.
I think the NBA just got money back. I think the NBA just had this happen.
Joe Jackson.
Happens all the time.
Joe Jackson. Yeah. Shoeless Joe Jackson? Or maybe Joe. Is it the one I'm thinking of? That's what he got banned from the game for.
Mm-hmm. A lot of dudes.
It was never truly proven, but
yeah.
I feel like baseball is harder to fucking prove it. I feel like baseball is harder to fucking throw a game on, unless you're like the pitcher. But
depends.
I don't know, because like think about it. If you're like a heavy hitter, and the team's counting on you, and you gotta go up and you gotta hit this ball, you can easily miss, and nobody will ever know that you missed on purpose.
That's what he's saying. That it's harder to prove that you threw.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's harder to throw it. I was like, I feel like baseball is pretty easy to throw.
Yeah, I think it would also be kind of both, because what if, like, no matter what, like, what if that pitcher just fucking throws like a fucking...
For a pitcher, it's really hard to do.
Like, if the batter was the one that's part of this betting, what if the pitcher just whiffed a pitch and nailed him, and now he has to walk?
Sucks.
And someone, then the guy behind him hits a home run. It's like, well, you can't fucking.
Well, then he'll probably either try to steal and get caught, or
because I feel like
take too big of a lead.
Baseball, I feel like relies on more than just one person to do well for the team to win, right?
100%.
Whereas, like, in the NBA or football, it's like, hey, if one person who, as everyone knows, is that one guy to get the ball where the ball needs to go, and he's clearly not doing it, it's easier to fucking throw a game on football and basketball, and then also easier to catch it than it is on baseball, because I feel like there's way too many variables in a baseball game.
You mean harder to throw a game?
I feel like the NBA and the NFL are easier to throw a game than the MLB, because
that's the opposite of what you were saying.
Maybe I'm just getting twisted around on one.
Because you're saying it's easier to throw a game in baseball.
No,
because
it's easy. I meant to say it's easier to throw an NFL or an NBA game than to throw an MLB.
You're talking about the entirety of the game.
The entirety of the game, yes, because it's like.
Because no one's really going to be able to do that in baseball.
No, you can't really do it in baseball, because the game doesn't just rely on you, versus versus football or basketball, where there's more people on the field and there's not enough variable. It's like, hey, don't catch this pass.
I don't think many people have really been
easier
suspected of throwing in baseball. It's more betting on the team or against the team.
Yeah, it's more of like betting against the team. But yeah, it's the only people that can get away with it, that could easily throw a game for baseball, is the umpire.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the umpire, there's no reviews of umps anymore. I don't think there ever was.
There is. You just can't dispute balls and strikes.
And that's the other thing, right? So it's up to the umpire to call a ball or a strike, and it could clearly not be that. It's like, that's a really bad call. Those calls don't get reviewed.
Well, yeah, they don't get reviewed during the game, which, yes,
what the
But
umpire
just
says
for the point
stays.
of umpires in general, afterwards, there's like an umpire league or whatever. I've just seen it on TikTok, people talking about it. But there's like the league of umpires, and if they're like,
It's a
you kind
union.
of
It's
suck
a union.
at yeah, okay. But if they're like, you kind of suck at your job, they go back and they look at the games you've called, and they're like, the hell is this, dude? What do you mean? This is so clearly you should not be calling this. You know what I mean? But
Who's
it
that
doesn't do
one?
anything to the game, which sucks because you can't overturn what's already been done.
Who's that one umpire that just retired that everyone has said is the worst umpire in the MLB because he was notorious for horrible calls.
I don't know his name.
If I heard the name, I might.
I know who you're talking about. I've heard of him. I just don't know his name.
Everyone's basically accused this dude of like betting on games because of that. Hang on, let me try to find this dude.
Probably has.
Think about how much gambling for sports has changed with the review systems.
Angel Hernandez.
A lot.
That's a player.
No, Angel Hernandez is an umpire, retired in May 2024, widely considered the worst and most controversial MLB umpire. Known for poor accuracy and frequent confrontational behavior. Following his retirement, C.B. Buckner, Laz Diaz, and Rob Drake are frequently cited as the worst active umpires due to inconsistent strike zones and high error. He had Angel Hernandez had a minus 5.5 expected correct call differential in 2024, ranking 76 out of 85 umpires. He was known for double-digit missed calls and high-profile errors.
Imagine being 86 out of 86.
But he is so bad. I'm not really big into sports, but even when someone like me is seeing a call that Angel Hernandez used to do, I know, no, dude, that was not a fucking strike. That ball, like, for example, he would call a strike on a ball that went straight to the batter's head.
That's crazy. How do you mess that up? He
called,
had to be gambling.
That's why people are like, this dude is fucking gambling. He's betting on games because there's no way that's a strike. That's a ball all day.
That's how that's how a lot of people feel about NFL referees too, because sometimes you just watch a game and there's just too many things going on that you're like, how in the hell are you going to call that? Like, what do you mean? Like, for example, when the Bills got kicked out of the playoffs this year, there was an interception that they called an interception that went in favor of the Broncos. The receiver, the intended receiver, had his knee down and control of the ball. And as he finished falling, the Broncos defender just grabbed the ball and rolled on top of him and grabbed the ball out, stripped it, and just ran. And the refs were like, oh, yeah, that was an interception. No, the receiver had control of the ball with the opposite team's hands on him, and his knee was on the ground. That's a down. That's a catch and a down. You cannot intercept the ball once it's declared down. But the refs went in, barely looked at it, and said, it's an interception.
Do you remember?
And they lost the game because of it.
Do you remember the NFL lockout? Where back in like 2008, 2009, the NFL had a referee lockout where they had to bring in like some off the street fucking referees to call the games.
Hey, you want to ref a game?
Yeah, I'm just using that term like loosely. I don't know what the true cause was. I just know
imagine that
these guys weren't a part of the league of referees that the NFL typically use. These were just some fucking new refs that they grabbed from other places.
Just pick your ticket.
All of the games.
You're the referee today.
Even fucking Aaron Rodgers was like saying it was like a Packer game where that finally broke Roger Goodell to be like, fine, bring the referees back because the calls were so bad that it cost Green Bay the game because they were clearly everybody, even the announcers were like, that is not the right call.
Yeah.
And it was just that bad that they were like, fuck, we got to bring back the other referees. These don't know what they're doing.
I need to look into this because this sounds really interesting to read up on.
It is. Look up the fucking NFL lockout that happened where the referees got replaced by like contractor referees and they fucking they had horrible calls for like several weeks. And all the players were pissed. Even the players on losing teams or winning teams were like, this is not correct. I can also see referees having an issue in NFL games calling everything, because some people are like, what happened? You just don't see that face mask. It's like, well, I feel like, because when you're on the ground and you have, sure, there's like, I don't know how many refs are on the field at the same time. I think there's 6, like one in the middle, one on each side. Like there's like one in the middle on each side, and then 2 on each side, able to look at the line of scrimmage. There's 7, so I was close. There's just so many moving parts, and you're eye level with all of it. And you're trying to run and just try to look at everything. There's 7 of you trying to see all the moving parts at the same time while running. It's
hard.
I can see why missed calls happen.
Yeah.
So I can be more forgiving of that. Umpires do not have that luxury. So it's like, hey, a bad call is always a bad call. I mean,
for balls and well, that's not necessarily true, because you're looking at the angle where the way you're seeing a ball and strike is from direct on, whereas the umpire is seeing the ball and strike, it's from behind somebody. It's also probably being framed as well.
He's looking over the shoulder of the catcher, right?
Yeah, which distorts your perception of where that ball is going to land.
So
the catcher can frame it.
I can see how balls and strikes can kind of get miscalled because of that. Obviously, some are more obvious than others, but at the same time, you really only have 2 things to look at: the ball and where the ball goes. And the third thing is whether or not the batter swings at it or not. You know,
if it breaks the plane.
If it breaks the plane. The other umpires are umpires in the outfield or on first and third base and shit. Like, those guys are watching, there's an umpire on each base watching to see. Their only job is to make sure that the runner gets to base before the fucking first, second, or third baseman hits the mat.
But it's angle as well.
I feel like they can but it's easier for them because they can just fucking look at it and kind of like, you just stare at the sandbag and watch to see what goes where first.
Yeah, but they have to have the ball as well though. So what gets there?
So
first,
sometimes
the foot.
But sometimes it's so close that obviously the human eye can't track, which, I mean, I'm sure back in the day before computing and really nice slow-mo cameras and stuff like that, it was just like, you're safe. Like,
honestly, you can
call it, you're safe. There's
famous games out there where if you look at like the way that the calls were, and like they had reviews and like slow-mo for the announcers and stuff, but on the field they didn't have any of that. None of that was a part of anything yet. So people in the stands or like at home would be like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Are you talking about
but
football
now
or
you
baseball?
can go, honestly, all of it. So now you can go back to those games and look at what would have changed or what could have. But some things are pretty definitive of what would have happened had some calls been completely reversed.
I also sometimes think it's even harder for the NFL to make bad calls or to have legitimate bad calls, because you have reviews of the play where the referees get together and be like, hey, I'm pretty sure I just saw this happen. Let's review it. Where they can see super close, super slow, and break down every piece little by little, where they're allowed to do that. Yeah, I mean,
baseball has that now too.
Baseball has it now, but not to that level.
We can't.
And how long did it take for baseball to finally add that?
It was a while. It was a couple of years after the NFL.
No, bullshit, it wasn't. Because like I remember the reviewing plays in baseball was fairly recent. 2014.
That's not recent.
That's within the last 10 years. Pretty recent.
12 years.
Same difference. The point I was getting at was like up until fairly recently, they weren't doing that. I said, even then, MLB started using instant replay for limited reviews in 2008. Initially only for home run calls. That was it. But significantly expanded it in the 2014 season to include manager challenge systems for most plays. like force plays, catches, and marking the biggest shift towards broader video review. The 2015, when managers could retain challenges after successful ones, basically saying that like they gave them the same permissions loosely to how the NFL does.
So, just to show the time difference of the two leagues implementing the cameras, you just said when the MLB did it, the NFL first implemented cameras for review in 1986.
Right.
And then removed the system in 1992 because the cameras were shit. And then in 1999, it was brought back permanently.
So what we're confusing is the replays versus the challenges.
It's the same though.
They're the same. Like, cause like, so the referees in the NFL,
because they've had replayability for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
but
what
challenges didn't come into play for much later.
What? No, I'm saying that like the what we're saying is the NFL has been able to challenge and review plays for decades. And the MLB has literally only been able to do it for the last 10 to 12 years.
1999.
What? 1999
1999 is the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah. So
decades.
But they started doing it in 1986 and then got rid of it for what?
No.
What do you mean? No, I just read it.
The modern coaches challenge system was in 1999. A form of instant replay existed, but it wasn't. It was more like what I'm saying. It was more like an instant replay versus a challenge system.
Coach's challenge system is throwing a red flag.
Yeah, that was 1999.
That's not what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're talking about the camera systems for referees and umpires to review the play. Meaning,
that's been around for a long time.
No, it hasn't. Not for the NFL, not for the MLB. The MLB has only done it in the last 10 years.
Hold on, Doc. Where are you right now? Well, what are you understanding about? Okay.
This entire time, I've been talking about challenges.
You're talking about
reviewing coaches and players being able to challenge a call.
Correct.
We're talking about the camera systems and the ability to review for those challenges.
Right.
Like
not
to
even
get better, more
and
accurate.
not even for those challenges for the referee, even if it wasn't challenged, because a lot of times when the referees are reviewing plays, it's not because it was challenged, it's because, hey, I wanted to make sure I saw this correctly, and that did you see that? Did you see that? And that kind of shit, right? The MLB didn't have something like that. It was whatever the umpire said is what it was. Regardless of what, you couldn't challenge it, you couldn't fucking do anything, you couldn't even review it. Even though on TV you could see it, that it was like, that's a bad call, but you couldn't do shit about it because the umpires were not reviewing plays until 2014, meaning that the instant replay shit that you saw on TV, everybody could see it clear as day. They weren't seeing the same thing because the MLB was like, no, we're not going to do that. And then eventually they finally did do it to where umpires can review plays and where coaches can challenge it, because it's just like, hey, there's a lot of bad calls on this fucking game. There's got to be a reason why there's these bad calls. We need something in place to review these, or for the
They're
umpire
really going to review it if it's challenged.
The umpires will, yeah. And
they're not reviewing it unless it's challenged.
Which is what, in my opinion, super fucking dumb, because it's like with the way technology is, it's like, hey, if the I get it, it's for the flow of the game, but umpires should be able to review plays, especially like in big games where it's like this is make or break for, playoff season or postseason,
And these leagues have looked into, since technology's just boomed. Let's be honest. They've looked into outright getting rid of people as referees.
They're talking about making AI do it.
Yeah, and making cameras and robots do it, because they can measure it more precisely.
All right, over under. When do you think AIs are going to replace referees?
10 years.
I give it 15.
So
I give it over 10. You say 10, I'm over.
That was me saying I think we've been down this rabbit hole a little bit too long.
No, so that's still the same thing, sports betting, because we believe a lot of umpires are involved with sports betting.
Mm-hmm. And how much it affects sports betting. Because I'm not going to lie, I've definitely thrown some parlays out there where I'm like, it just hit, and then it's like a flag, and you're like, what are you talking about? And then they bring the play back, and while you're watching the review of them being like holding whatever,
Did you watch
and
the
you're
Super
just
Bowl?
like, yeah,
The one touchdown that had the flag, and then it wasn't a touchdown anymore.
That happens all
that
the
happens,
time.
that happens all the time.
No, I
And
know, but I'm saying like this
sucks.
particular
yeah.
last
Yeah, yeah.
game, like he ran it all the way down. And I'm like,
Mhm.
woo! And they're like, flag on the play, suck my ass.
And it sucks because like sometimes you see those and you're like, no. What do you mean you called a flag on that? That's crazy.
Oh yeah, because it
you're like,
was also
dudes are doing
holding.
that every play. You know what
It
I
was
mean?
holding.
Like,
I watched the holding. I'm like,
I feel
hold
like
what? These
holding-
fucking nuts.
Holding is like such a weird flag. And the reason why I say that is because
It can
there are cases where it's like, how do you not
Come on.
how do you not hold in certain instances, right? Where it's like you're a blocker, your job is to prevent a thing. And and the other weird thing is like if it was successful, like yeah, you were holding, but he still caught it and you still went with it. Does it
That's when they deny
fucking matter
play.
anymore? Because it's like, well,
No.
like, you know, you're
That's why
doing,
they get the opportunity to accept or deny.
but it's also like, I was always taught in football, you put your fucking hands under the front of the pads and you lift. And I'm like, how, like, that seems like holding, but it's not. Holding is when you grab them like that, you know?
holding is also when like that player has broken the plane of you and they're not in front of you anymore. If they're over here and you're still holding on, that's also a holding call. Those are the ones that everybody sees and is like, dog, really? That's a holding call? Because a lot of times it's like, it's barely before they break free and go and continue the play. But it also is the difference between a sack and the quarterback throwing a touchdown. Like it's wild because it's like they're doing everything they should be. It's just over here, so now it's holding.
And face mask calls were also like mostly a safety thing. Because dudes would just grab you by your fucking face. And dude, it's funny now watching the NFL from like the 80s. And how,
dude,
they're
like
how those dudes
taking each other's heads off.
They literally like grab you by your fucking face and just rip you to the ground. And like there was like face masks weren't a thing at the time.
Yeah,
so it's like
do it.
you can just do it. And it's and funny enough, I don't know if the NFL recently changed this, but you up until I think recently could grab someone's hair and fucking
and throw him on the ground
and yank him to the ground by that. It wouldn't be considered holding.
Yeah,
Get a fucking haircut.
I think honestly, I think that's what the NFL is saying. Like, if you don't want to get grabbed by your hair, don't have your hair hanging out of your helmet.
Because a lot of these guys would have like long fucking hair and constantly get their fucking yanked back because they were running and like you. But I always found it interesting. The NFL didn't consider that holding, but if you grab them by their jersey, it is. And I feel like
there's a rule that specifically
I
states
feel
it.
like
It doesn't say hair.
pulling the hair is so much more detrimental to the play and to the safety of the player than
It's because
than
the
just
definition-
grabbing the cuff, the little frizz of their jersey.
Yeah,
Because the definition is so specific.
Did they ever
I
change that? Is
remember-
this still the case?
I'm pretty sure you still can. Damn it, I hate my headphones. Died, fucking turned off again.
Just get a wired headset. He can't hear.
Dude,
any of it.
it's still legal. Yes,
I can hear you
pulling a player's hair to tackle them is currently still legal in the NFL. The league considers hair extending outside the helmet part of the player's uniform, making it fair game because it's not part of the uniform anymore.
Which, let's be honest, though, like if it was the other way around, everybody would have super long hair and be like, "You can't grab me in the back now, dummy. If I'm past you, nothing you can do now."
It's funny.
You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, because it's not considered the uniform anymore. So it's like,
those are some of my favorite tackles because you're just watching this dude taking off, and the guy trying to get him is just like, fuck it, and he dives full weight of a 280-pound man, and he just grabs a lock of hair, and as he's falling, pulls him from the back of the head down.
oh, dude,
It's the funniest thing ever.
I'm watching this. I'm watching this Instagram reel of like some of the craziest hair pulls in both college and NFL, And it's like these dudes are just straight up getting yoinked to the ground hard by their hair. Yeah. Even so much like dudes will stand up with their fucking hair in their hand.
Anyways, to move to another portion of gambling. Have you guys ever streamed on Kick?
Long time ago.
So Kick is owned by a gambling corporation.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. That doesn't surprise me at all. I think it's owned by a bunch of streamers, isn't it?
Aiden Ross.
With Stake as well. But Stake is like the main, like they're the propriety, basically. And I honestly, in my opinion, Stake is the only reason that Kick is even still around. Because it's been proven that like upwards of 70% of their viewers are bots. But they have the money.
Kick was terrible to stream on because I completely switched from Twitch to Kick for a few months. And that's all I would get on Kick is bots.
Yeah.
And people being like, I'll do this.
Wasn't the purpose of Aiden Ross making Kick so that he can like do gambling streams so that people
that was just part of Stake because they're like the proprietor ownership that they're pushing more gambling. So people that get massive contracts to be on Kick get gambling or it's part of their contract. Like they have to have so many gambling streams.
That too is a fucking slippery slope to get on because it's like you're asking for a bunch of degenerate gamblers at that point. It's like, hey, you want to be a content creator and be a partner? Like you have to do gambling streams. And it's like,
but then again, who's going to pass up that bag if you get offered? Because I mean, they do it for ads on YouTube. If they're like, we're going to give you $100,000 to put a 10-second ad about gambling or like this FanDuel app or some whatever the fuck it is to promote this gambling app. I would fucking do it. I'm not gonna lie. $100,000, suck my ass. I'm not the one.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not the one that's telling you to gamble. It's your choice. But $100,000 is gonna change your life.
No, it's not.
But that's part of the argument.
Not only am I
for one ad.
Not only am I not passing it up, I'm using some of that money to gamble myself.
See, oh my god! And here's the thing: I can't.
And you can call me a dirtbag for that. That's fine.
And this is the thing that I will always stand on this because it's like when I'm the kind of person that if I do not agree with something, I will never get involved with that thing. So
everyone has a story. Everyone has a price.
I don't. I genuinely don't.
There are things that I mean. I don't. I'm gonna. Go
I know, and I know
there are things that you can't be bought for.
Like for example,
you never really know until the
since we're not on a fucking Regiment podcast anymore. I could say it. Like when Regiment partnered with who the fuck was it? Oh, We the People holsters.
Oh, I remember that.
I told them straight up. I knew that they were going to eventually ask to push ads for it, and I'm like, no, because I think they're shitty holsters. I wouldn't trust them. I don't trust those holsters. I'm a gun guy, and it was not even just that. There was a game that Chris wanted us to play and promote, and I straight up and he wanted us to promote it like part of the stream team. He wanted us to stream and play that game, and it was I can't remember what game it was, but it was like a stupid fucking gotcha mobile type game. And I was like, I'm not fucking playing that because everything about that game is against everything that I say that I hate. It's everything that I hate in gaming. And if I go on here and be like, play this game, it's like that makes me a sellout. It makes me dishonest and a sellout. So I'm not fucking doing it. And I told him, and I even said like, I'm not streaming that game. Therefore, I'm not streaming that day. And even with the We the People holsters, right? So like they're basically the grunt style of holsters. Truth be told, like grunt style shirts are a little cringy. I love you, Tim, but
depends on which ones.
I blame the community mostly. Like the quality of the shirts are great, but We the People holsters is like trying to be like Grunt Style, except sell holsters, and their holsters are shitty quality. And you don't want, I don't want to put my fucking firearm, the thing that I depend on with my life, in a holster that I don't think is good quality. I'll never do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like,
see, I'll promote a gambling site if they're paying me $100K, because guess what? I'm not making you gamble.
Listen,
it's all a choice.
I'm not gonna do. I wouldn't do it, and the reason why I wouldn't do it is because, like, I've been on the other side of what a gambling addict can do. My grandmother with that shit. My brother and my sister's money that my grandpa left behind, gone, because my grandma was gambling it and sending it to some scam guy. So it's like, I can't get on board with it, because it's like, I don't fucking agree with it. I don't care if you want to gamble. If you want to go to the casino or whatever, cool. It's not my thing. It could be your thing. I can understand why it's fun. But these apps where you can bet on if it's going to fucking rain tomorrow or not is
bad.
It's too much. It really is too much. And that's the other thing we're going to talk about, is like the stupid shit that people can fucking gamble on. Because it's not just sports. It's everything.
Everything.
It's everything.
Let me tell you, because I have the app for it, and it's nuts.
And this even goes back to like 2008, the housing market crash, right? People were betting on these hedge fund guys were actually betting on the American economy and if they were betting because they saw the trend, they saw the bubble was going to pop, that people were going to lose their houses, the economy was going to collapse, all this shit. They were making bets on the American economy that it was going to crumble, like we're going to go into a recession.
Similar to the AI stuff.
Huh?
Similar to the AI stuff.
Right. But these hedge fund guys during that 2008 crisis were placing bets on whether or not the American economy was going to fall apart during that. And they were correct, of course, but it's just like, hey, it's like, do you understand what that means? Like, if you win that bet, like, yeah, you come out with like money, but that also means a lot of people are losing their homes, their jobs. They're losing, people are going to die. It's just like, you know, and hell, there's even betting on the pandemics.
I was just about to say, I'm trying to find it and mention.
People were making bets on COVID. How long lockdowns were going to last? When the next variant was going to happen.
So you can bet on. Here's just one that's alive right now. What will Mark Kelly say during the MS Now interview? Authoritarian or democracy? You can shape your feed to what's Donald Trump gonna say. Will the announcers at Michigan versus Northwestern say anything about schedule or a walk on? Like it gets crazy.
Like you can do what words that they'll say and how many times. Like you can say like how many times this streamer gonna say fuck.
You can bet on what's going to be the best AI app this week.
This week?
Yeah, this week. You can be like, what's going to be the top rated, most used AI app this week? And you just bet. You just put in which one you think.
And then the Super Bowl really highlights a lot of it, because it's like there's even bets on like, is there going to be a streaker?
Yep, and there was.
And oddly enough, the guy that starts that bet is the streaker.
Yeah,
that guy every year he makes that bet. He starts that bet knowing he is the streaker.
Yeah.
And then he's going to like...
But he goes to jail. I don't understand. What is it worth?
It's like a $5,000 fine.
And you only go for the night. They let you out. That's it.
I'm straight.
It's straight up a
Super Bowl.
It's straight up.
I got my get rich quick scheme.
It's straight up a misdemeanor. It's not even like a true, like, it's not a felony. It's not like a crime that's going to like impact the rest of your life type thing. I'm
starting the bet next year.
Yeah.
You know,
streaking at the Super Bowl.
You know what would be crazier? If you went to the Super Bowl and you were the streaker, knowing that the streaker is going to be there, and you know that he's going to be placing his bets and he's going to add these legs and these parlays, that the streaker is going to be at the Super Bowl. It's going to happen on at this time, around this time, between this quarter and this quarter. And you go on there and you fuck him over by streaking at a different time, like at the beginning of the game, because they never happen that early. And it's just like, and then it's just like, well, now the bet of is there going to be a streaker has already fallen apart. And this parlay of the streaker being at a certain time is going to fall apart even more. So that dude's going to lose a lot of fucking money if someone else streaks.
Yeah.
So in almost a way, that's his gamble. Is just like, I need to do this before someone else does it.
It's a fun way to beat the system. You know,
it's also illegal.
It's misdemeanors. Get some misdemeanors under your belt. Win a lot of money.
Because it's almost like you're for sure going to get a win if you bet that there will be a streaker in the Super Bowl, because almost every year there is one.
Yeah. I think the bet has actually started to change too. Will there be a televised streaker?
Because it's never televised.
Because now they shift camera and they're like, yeah, so da-da-da-da. So it's like, will they get caught on camera? Will they be mentioned? Like, will there be a streaker and it will be mentioned on camera? You know what I mean? So
I think there's even a delay now too.
And the streaker that
got caught on camera,
it's like a 15-second delay. But yeah, even the streaker had like a
thanks Janet Jackson,
a betting app thing painted on him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys actually know that Janet Jackson is the exact reason for live TV delays?
Yeah.
Why?
Her titty.
You don't remember that? Her boob being ripped off by Justin Timberlake?
Fucking titty gate?
Dude, I remember watching that.
Are you that young? How old are you in fucking Jesus Christ? When was this?
This was like 2003, 2004.
Titty gate.
Janet Jackson.
2004.
I was right. So
how old were you in 2004?
7.
I fucking hate it.
So I was watching that game, and I remember this. I was super sick. I had the flu, and I had to I was like half awake. And I started falling asleep during the halftime show, and I woke up just in time for fucking Justin Timberlake. I want to rock your body. Grab her fucking thing, rip it off, and her tit came.
No, it's I'm gonna have you naked by the end of the song.
Yeah, something like that. And then he ripped off her fucking. She had like a button-on like titty cover, and she pulled it off, and she had a nipple piercing of like a sun. Like it was like a nipple ring that went over her whole nipple of the sun. And
so it was supposed to happen.
So that was planned.
It was
but
planned.
The nipple covering came off.
Oh.
And it was just titty.
I don't even, because they tried saying, no, that wasn't supposed to happen at all. It was a wardrobe malfunction. And it wasn't. He grabbed that fucking thing and ripped it off. And her
apparently it was planned.
It was planned. And it was just, I remember
to an extent.
I remember being like, it was the one time I just kind of like came out of my like sick sleep. And I saw it happen. And I was like,
honestly, one of the worst things of that came from that is like the slander that she got while nothing happened to Justin.
Oh yeah, no. It turned out he's a complete weirdo. But it was like a split second. You saw her tit like that, and it was like the camera switched off because they were like, oh.
I remember that. Like one of my friends had taped it. And it like got passed around between us because we were like just little kids. We're just, titty on TV.
Boobies. There's boobies on TV.
Boobies on TV.
That was also the reason that the halftime shows sucked ass for like 10 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then I even asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, did you see that? And she's like, see what? I'm like, Janet Jackson's boob. And she's like, no, that didn't happen. I'm like, I thought for sure I imagined it. And then it was like, everyone was talking about it.
School the next day. Everyone's talking about the titty.
And I'm like, so yeah, I was sick, so I didn't get to go to school the next day. But yes, the titty thing actually happened. And I thought it was a fever dream because I was.
Why does Janet Jackson kind of look like MJ?
Because
they're brother and sister.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Jackson.
You fucking. Oh my God.
There's no shot you didn't know that Janet Jackson was Michael Jackson's brother.
Oh my God. Yeah. Why does Janet Jackson look like MJ?
Hey, get out of here.
We're clipping this right now.
That's fine. I honestly, I don't pay attention to celebrities, and I often
look up LaToya Jackson.
I often forget that Michael Jackson had siblings, and even more than that, I forget that when he was a kid.
At least 5.
He was
Yeah.
black.
He was Jack's 5. I always remember that he was black because I was
he was
looking at him.
black.
I'm like,
I didn't know for the
"You don't-
longest
you don't
time.
think he should be white." Who Jackson? Latoya Jackson.
Latoya Jackson. They all had the same work done, and they all looked the same.
Wow, they all look exactly. That is the same work. They had the same plastic surgeon, didn't
They
they?
had to have, because they all had the same nose, the same everything, which is weird because Michael Jackson clearly had way too much surgery, and that's why his nose turned into that. But then his sisters did the exact same thing.
Janet Jackson.
Anyway,
So when I was a kid, I actually thought Michael Jackson was a woman. I asked my mom. I was like, "Who's that woman?" And she laughed. I'm like, "That's a man. That's Michael Jackson.
You know,
He's the greatest.
You know what's
singer of
crazy?
all time."
Just to kind of digress a little bit, which we normally do. Place your bet.
not on this, not on this podcast.
Michael Jackson, like after everything that came out about Epstein, it makes you realize that Michael Jackson truly was innocent.
I mean, he was weird. Yeah.
But the reason why the whole thing when that what he was doing was actually to try to protect children, especially like the kids in Hollywood.
I think Dave Chappelle had a special that he kind of went on that.
He was doing what he was doing to protect kids, and people fucking made him out to be like this weirdo. When the truth was, he was actually protecting kids from people like fucking Epstein.
He was still weird. Let's not like. He can still be weird.
You got to understand though,
and
like,
be innocent.
Michael Jackson, like
he named his child Blanket. That's kind of weird.
You got to remember, Michael Jackson did not have a good childhood. Like
correct.
No,
but that made him
he
weird.
didn't really have a childhood. Yeah, that made him weird. But he never had any ill.
He didn't have any ill intent with any of it. Anyway, back to betting. So pandemic betting. So
what do you think the next one's going to happen?
That's actually one of the bets, I think, is that
crazy.
When is the next pandemic? What is it going to be? Where's it going to start? How long? Like, how will people get locked down for how long? Like, what laws are going to change? Even with COVID, vaccine,
it's like the game Plague.
Vaccine rollouts was a part of a bet. Lockdown timelines were a part of a bet. New variants were part of a bet. All of it was part of a fucking bet. Like people were just, you could gamble on everything. Weather.
Hang on.
Climate.
Hang on.
Financial Times, retail, weather, derivatives, climate risk. Explain.
All right. What if it's all connected, right? What if these big fucking conglomerates and like we can say congressmen, all the businesses are controlling these things, but it's also tied into the betting. So like what is getting betted the most or like make it happen?
I'm willing to bet there's a lot of things that are like
You're willing
that.
to what?
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
willing
I'm
to
willing to
bet.
bet.
You want to put money on that? You want to put money?
We're putting on it.
No,
You see the look on his face? He was like, yes, I fucking do.
For real? For real? Yes.
Even hurricanes, right? So people bet on hurricanes. What category is it going to get to? Is it going to get named? Is a storm going to get named? How bad is it going to be?
That I can't bet on weather. I can't bet on nature because I'm like, what? There's nothing.
Let me ask you before
exciting.
I was going to say
people bet on children all the time. Is it a boy or a girl?
Before you finish that, is it that you can't bet on weather because it is a devastating thing and not a good thing to bet on? Or is it because it's so unpredictable that you'll probably lose?
See, now I feel like you're wording that to make me sound like a bad person.
It's because
it's
the latter,
unpredictable.
isn't it? It's the latter.
It's the latter. It's because it's unpredictable.
All bets are unpredictable.
Now, see, here's the thing. I wasn't even thinking about how bad it was. I also, in the perspective of betting on weather, I'm thinking, is it going to be sunshiny or rainy today? I know you said hurricanes, but
even if it rains,
anyway,
it's still sunshine somewhere.
My thought, see, no, but that's the thing though too about betting on things that will disconnect you, is you don't think about how it's people are actually losing their homes and lives in these storms because it's on a betting app.
Exactly.
And you're not thinking about that.
Right. And that's why these apps are such a fucking problem and why I hate them. Like everybody should kind of hate them because it's like,
people will also do crazy shit.
People that too.
Win
right.
Win more.
I'm
like
willing,
the California fires.
I'm willing.
Arson.
I'm willing to guess and speculate that there's probably bets on assassinations. Who's going to get assassinated?
Oh, I'm 100% sure you can go on to the dark web or Onion or whatever people call it these days, on a Tor browser, and you will find those kinds of things. And then I'm even more sure that people
We're talking about legal betting here?
because they see that.
I want to say
Well,
that
I'm
there was
talking about
even
betting in
there was
general.
like there was even bets during the presidential campaign of like if there was going to be an assassination attempt on Trump.
Well, there was.
Correct.
There were two. There were multiple.
There was
I think more than
three.
two.
There was three.
Three.
I only know the one.
There was three.
There was a guy that got caught on his golf course. He actually just went to trial a couple days ago.
Yeah, sentenced to
finally,
life.
or he did. I mean, obviously, like, come on, you went out there and you tried to you consciously went and sat in a position to kill somebody. On top of that, they're running for president. That's like a really big no-no.
Just a little bit.
But yeah. It's some
For
dude.
our
All I know about is the one where he actually did get shot, and the golf course one. I don't know about the third one.
There was a third one. I can't remember. It was like one that was like there was a guy who was plotting, and they grabbed him before he can even like get close to even execute it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now.
You guys know how a lot of these apps will rope people in too?
How?
Free credit.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Your first bet, like 20 free bucks or whatever.
Your first
I'm
bet's on
not-
us or some shit like that.
I'm not gonna lie, those get me because I'm like, I'm gonna spend the $10 on this bet on this football game today anyway. Here's this new sports betting app, and if I put in $10, they're gonna give me 20 to gamble with. Hell yeah, for $10 I can gamble with $30 today, and if I win, that's a lot of money in my pocket. Because the only stipulation for you to keep any of that money is you have to gamble it first. Obviously, they're not just giving you to cash out, but you get it to gamble with and try to make a little bit more money off of your $10. So it gets me every time. I'm not gonna lie. A new one comes out, and I'm like, what?
Because they know
But
the
then again-
likelihood of you to do it again, or explore other parts of the app. You're like, oh shit, I'm gonna bet on this too.
There's
Much higher.
There's even betting on into the market, stock market and shit. Now, which you could say
to me is wild.
betting.
You could say
Yeah.
the stock market itself is betting, but specifically inflation, interest rates, GDP value. People make bets on that.
They're just
shit.
breaking it down like more.
Is the Dow Jones going to drop today? That kind of betting. Not like I'm gambling the fact that Dow will be good.
Who's Dow Jones?
Dow Jones? I don't know.
Sounds like a cunt.
There's even Vox, the rise of betting on everything. Cultural normalization of betting on politics and pop culture. Pop culture, like the Oscars and shit. People will put bets on that. Like everything can be bet on. People bet on, like, and these apps have like made it so. Before, like you said with the mob, it used to all just be underground type betting, but now it's on apps where you can just make these little micro bets and macro bets on fucking everything.
They're incorporating psychology into it too, because I mean, I think
Yes,
games are the best at doing this, and these betting companies have taken what they've seen from gaming apps and say like I've been big balls deep into Arc Raiders, right? One of the things that happens in there when you get a pink item, you get like a and it like dopamine. Like I want that again.
that's the other thing about why I hate loot boxes and microtransactions in games is because other things are going to implement that too, right? It's not so much like more and more games that I want to play are going to have that same shit. More and more things are going to start having that same shit, like daily
On
life
that,
things.
Because so gambling and betting is illegal in games because it's geared towards kids.
Yep.
They're getting around it now when it's not for monetary value or it's for, say, in-game stuff like a skin, a weapon, in-game currency.
It's
that you have to
gambling
also
without
buy
it's
with real money.
gambling, but like you're not winning any money off of it. But you're
you're skirting the policy definition.
For the only thing I want to say that in gaming that has an actual value for their gambling stuff is Counter-Strike.
CSGO. Which has crashed recently,
because Steam, and that's also another, we've talked about it before, Steam changing the market for skins, making things less valuable or more valuable, and just turning the market onto its head entirely. And it's like, it's a market that's just, you can't invest in that because it was never supposed to be a market for monetary value. It just turned into one.
Arc Raiders is doing that. People are doing that with the blueprints that you find in the game. People are collecting them and then
selling them?
Selling them. Yeah, they're selling them. So like you basically will go in with someone and be like, okay, what blueprint do you need or want? And you'll join a lobby with them. They'll go in, you'll shove it in your ass.
Cash
and then you'll extract. Yeah, literally.
That's wild. That is wild to me. I'm going to be so honest when it comes to gaming.
Is that where you draw the line?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I'm not kidding. Like, why play the game? Play the game. Like, I understand gambling inside the game with game.
I've literally watched you
not your actual money.
I've watched you play slots in Schedule 1.
I know, but that's not my actual money. That's game money. That's part of the game. I'm saying to be like, I need this blueprint in Arc Raiders. I'm going to go pay somebody to give it to me. Play the fucking game.
RuneScape.
Like, look up a tutorial. Be a normal guy.
Games like RuneScape were like that, where it was like, even World of Warcraft, right? So if you needed something, Tarkov's like that, where people will pay.
They have a marketplace.
Tarkov changed that though. They made it to where it's a lot harder to do that because they changed it to where things that you bring in raid and you drop get deleted as soon as you drop it. Because people were paying other people to get high value items, because like there's a marketplace inside of Tarkov, the flea market, where people can you with your in-game money that you can only earn, you can't buy it, would just put shit on the flea market to earn in-game money on that marketplace, right? They put something on there, someone would buy it on the marketplace. And and you can't put every item on there. Like there's certain items where it's like certain ammo and no, it's not that. It's certain stuff like certain ammo that's like super good ammo. You can't put it on the flea market because so many people earn a lot of money in the game to the point where it's like instead of just buying it from the vendor in game, because the vendor's supply only has a certain number of supply that the entire instance of that game has access to. So if that vendor runs out of that item that day, you have to wait till the next day for that vendor to have that item back. That's ammo, especially. Ammo is the most important thing in Tarkov because you can have the best gun in the game, but if you're using shitty ammo, it's going to suck. So you need to get like ammo is your most valuable thing against enemies in Tarkov. Ammo, so the best level, the best tier ammo can't go on the flea market. It won't let you, and you can't drop it for people in raids. So when you bring it, it'll delete like keys in the game, like to unlock certain rooms and shit for quest items. Certain keys, like key cards for labs, are where all the highest tier loot is. It's a certain map in Tarkov where all the best loot is in labs. You can't bring certain lab cards and drop them because they'll just delete themselves. Because what people were doing is that they were having people pay them real money to go into games to give them these items. And Tarkov was like, that's just going to throw the balance on top of its head. So we're going to fucking get rid of that.
Yeah.
Which at the consequence of that too was you'd have streamers who would do this thing where they would have streamer loadouts where they would just bring in, like a random person that watches their stream and just give them all this good shit just to give them good shit. And you're like, hey, you're lucky today. Here's all this good stuff.
Just
have fun. Bye.
Build some community.
Yeah. They couldn't do that anymore because a lot of items would just get, or it wouldn't let you bring it into raid. Or it wouldn't let you drop items.
Well, I feel like the workaround there is just let them kill you.
Oh, are we boring you? Is there not enough gameplay?
The new workaround is paying hackers to clean the lobby out for you so that you can go find shit.
Ew, that's not fun.
That's about to happen in Marathon.
I'm sure Marathon is going to kill Bungie. I'll put money on that. I'll bet on that.
Speaking of, there are people betting on if it's going to be
Flop.
DOA.
It is.
Dead on arrival.
I'll put $100 down. Dead on arrival.
I don't think it will.
I think it will.
Highlander isn't even dead on arrival, technically.
It's High Guard is what you're thinking of.
That's what I meant. High Guard, yeah.
What's
it Lunar?
What's its player game? What's its player count?
On Steam, because it's also on console.
Marathon looks stupid.
It's made by Bungie, guys who did Destiny.
Yeah, I love Bungie, but this looks.
I don't love Bungie, not anymore.
Gross.
After what they did with Destiny, I'm never touching a Bungie game again.
That's fair.
Marathon
looks weird.
Team charts.
We just circled into gaming.
Well, because gambling is part of gaming.
Yeah, it's literally gaming.
Which, speaking of that, you just reminded me earlier. I was going to say, even without on your phone and all this stuff, go to your local arcade.
Shocking.
Go to your local arcade and
which arcade? There is none.
You don't have any arcades?
None that I've seen. What were you looking at, Doc? What's the player count?
No, sorry, I was looking at how close Marvel Rivals and Overwatch is as I was scrolling.
Here in Utah, obviously we don't have casinos. You can go to an arcade. We have like the nickel-cades. Every game's 5 cents. And you go in and there's grown people sitting at the coin games and just unloading buckets of coins in there. Well, now you don't use your own coins. You put it on a card and you swipe the card 5 times and then you just sit there and hit a button.
That's
to try
weird.
and collect all these cards to
Yeah.
get tickets.
See, I'm in Texas. There are no casinos or anything in Texas.
Yeah.
Maybe on a reservation there is, but not anywhere else here. Gambling is against the law in Texas.
Yeah, same here.
Maybe technically, but I bet you a lot of those fucking apps are legal.
Oh, people on
a lot of the apps are legal.
The apps are legal because how do you regulate that? Except for denying access, which you can't watch Pornhub in Texas. Because you have to.
You have to be verified as over the age of 18.
Yeah, no, Texas, it is blocked in Texas. Ask me.
Because you have to verify age.
Right. Well,
there's a lot of states that have done it because you have to send in a picture of your ID and shit like that. Because Virginia was doing the same thing, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta use a VPN."
So even without a VPN, you cannot access Pornhub, and the reason why is because Texas wants Pornhub to require people to upload their ID to Pornhub to verify age.
That's what I said.
Yes, and they won't do it. So you can't access it without
Pornhub. That doesn't make sense because Pornhub has already done that with multiple states.
Pornhub did not do that and they even trust me. I looked without. I can look right now without my VPN. And I can tell you what it says.
Okay. We're placing bets.
Place bets. Place your bets. Place your bets. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to Pornhub.
God damn,
right
I have to fucking specifically.
Okay. Without my VPN, this is what I get. I don't even get an option to upload my ID. Dear user, as you know, elected officials in Texas are requiring us to verify your age before allowing you to access our website. Not only does this impinge on the rights of adults to access protected speech, it fails strict scrutiny. The least effective and yet also most restrictive means accomplishing Texas' stated purpose for allegedly protecting minors. While safety and compliance are at the forefront of our mission, providing identification every time that you want to visit an adult platform is not an effective solution for protecting users online. And in fact, will put minors and your privacy at risk. Attempting to mandate age verification without any means to enforce at scale gives platforms a choice to comply or not, leaving hundreds of thousands of websites open and accessible. As we've seen in other states, such bills have failed to protect minors by driving users from those few websites which comply to those hundreds of thousands of websites with far fewer safety measures in place, which do not comply. Very few sites are able to compare to the robust trust and safety measures we currently have in place. Unfortunately, the Texas law of age verification is ineffective, haphazard, and dangerous. Not only will it not actually protect children, but it will also inevitably reduce content creators' ability to post and distribute legal adult content and directly impact their ability to share the artistic messages they want to convey with it. We believe the only effective solution for protecting minors and adults alike is to verify users' age on their device and to either deny or allow access to age-restricted materials on the website based on that verification. So, basically, you cannot access it.
Now try with a VPN.
I can get it. Asked me if I'm 18 or older. That's it. That's all it does. Yes. Click yes. But
that's the way it's almost always been. I feel like it's always been like that before any of this stuff started
it wasn't.
Happening.
They added that recently, but without a VPN, you cannot access it in Texas. In fact,
it's high guard on here.
Believe it or not, in Texas, like you can't buy like more than a certain number of sex toys. Like in one transaction.
Why? Who cares?
No. You're talking about a state where missionary is the only legal position to do.
Quote unquote. But these are not enforceable laws.
Right. They're
it's like those laws where it's like it's illegal to fucking put a pie in the windowsill on a Sunday.
But yeah, in Texas, like they even talked about making sex toys like you have to register to buy them.
What?
Yeah.
We're getting closer to Black Mirror, guys. High guard is currently at 2,800.
2,800? Wow, that game is cracking off, dude. That game is cracked, dude. That game is not dead on arrival at all. 2,800 players. By the way, that game came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is 2,800? Are you sarcasming right now, or?
Yes.
Okay.
2,800 is not high.
2,800 is nothing.
I didn't think so.
Now look at Helldivers.
Their peak is 97,000,
which was the weekend it
dropped. And that's mainly because of like big streamers that were actually
97,000 players on a game that just came out
for their level of production.
Low,
like the cost that it went into it. You can obviously tell that game was meant to be like a BR or something, and they pivoted.
Yeah. Marathon will be the same way. I'm placing a bet on that right now.
Subnautica has almost more players than this.
I can understand.
Subnautica is an awesome game, though.
It's also very niche, so I can see why it doesn't have as much. But
it's also old.
That too.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years old.
Yeah, I will put money on that. Marathon will be dead on arrival.
What? I don't think so.
Mainly
because
now I want to dump like 10 hours of my life into Subnautica. Just straight 10 hours.
I've been playing Baldur's
Gate
lately.
The new one comes out soon. Hold off.
I saw that.
Hold off. Okay. Unless you haven't played the Frozen Below or Below.
I haven't. All I've ever played is the first one.
Play that one. It'll hold you over. I'm willing to bet though that it's not going to drastically flop like what people think. One, because of the popularity of Arc Raiders and the sustained popularity of Arc Raiders and the disdain within that community of the PvP people. Because a large, I would say upwards of 70% of that community is PvP centric or PvE centric. They either don't like the PvP aspect or they're just like, it's not bad. But the strictly like I play this game for PvP, like Burnt Peanut, like all the major streamers that go in strictly just to kill people. They're gonna gravitate towards, especially in the beginning, they're gonna gravitate towards Marathon because Marathon is being marketed and geared towards strictly PvP. Like it's the main basis of it. Like it's nothing. It's loot and kill. There's nothing else really. But it's got factions, and they're also learning from the complaints that people are having with Arc Raiders, and they're actually making those changes and announcing those changes. So if it's not just a complete shit fucking game,
which it will be, and I'll tell you why. Bungie has not had a good track record for releasing something good on launch. Destiny 1,
nothing launches on launch.
No.
Launches good on launch.
Not in the case with, not like how Bungie's is. Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 were so fucking bad when they came out that it almost put Bungie under. And the only reason why that they didn't go under was because Bungie was, I forgot who Bungie was under. I want to say it was Microsoft. Bungie got bailed out by Microsoft, essentially, on Destiny 1. And then what they did was like, we learned from this, we're going to improve. And they improved the game. Destiny 2 was coming out. Everyone thought they learned from their mistakes because one of the biggest issues was that the game was empty and it was broken as fuck. Destiny 2 comes out, right? Everyone thought
like No Man's Sky.
Everyone thought, except the only difference is that No Man's Sky is like, please forgive me still. And they keep rolling out good shit. Bungie has been rolling out, and the way that they monetize shit, right? Activision, almost everyone blamed Activision for Bungie, for Bungie's shit in Destiny 2 because everything was focused on the store and not to the game's content.
Activision, I think, is the first AAA publisher to put microtransactions into
they are
like AAA games.
But after they left Activision, Bungie they doubled down on bullshit, right? Sony bought them.
It makes money.
Sony is even like, I think Sony's thinking it was a bad idea to drop billions of dollars to buying Bungie because Bungie has dropped the ball so hard on Destiny 2 multiple times that the player base is like, dude, they're giving up on it and all this stuff. And like now they're focusing on Marathon. Bungie has not had a good track record of a good launch. Destiny 2, everyone thought they learned from Destiny 1. Destiny 2 will be better. Destiny 2 dropped and it was worse than Destiny 1. The only reason why they came out of it was because of some fucking miracle where they actually dropped good shit and they were focused on making the changes that people wanted. And it saved them, but it only saved them for so long. Because now here we are, Destiny 2 is near its end. They aren't focusing on Destiny 3. They aren't even going to focus hardly on Destiny 2. They're going to just leave it behind. And they're going to focus all on Marathon. And it's an extraction shooter. And you're getting into a market where there's already so many of this genre.
Are you thinking of Battle Royale or extraction shooter?
Extraction shooter. Marathon's an extraction shooter.
Yes, but the amount of popular extraction shooters is pretty low.
Everybody's doing an extraction shooter.
Now.
Yes.
Because it's the pivot.
The only extraction shooter for a long time was Tarkov. People started getting on the trend with Tarkov. Now everyone's got
none of them have been successful, though.
No, you're right. They haven't been successful, but people keep trying to chase a dying trend. Arc Raiders Arc Raiders did it because, let's be honest, Arc Raiders was supposed to be a PvE game. It was like, I honestly think the only reason why Arc Raiders is still as popular as it is because of the world. The world is very
fun thing to run around.
It's a interesting world to play in. The enemies are interesting. Like, it rewards playing together more than it does like PvP. Whereas games like Tarkov and all the other ones, they lean too heavy into the PvP part, and people don't like it, so they don't play it.
That's why they had to implement a PvE mode,
right? And
which they never wanted to do either.
No, they didn't want to do it. But look at
knew
Battlefield did I think
to.
Battlefield has an extraction shooter, doesn't it? Extraction.
No,
mode.
they had
as a battle royale.
They tried one in 2042,
and it didn't
I know what
work.
you're thinking of, and it was bare bones. And then they
I'll tell you,
support for it almost immediately.
I'll tell you one that actually an extraction shooter that actually got me interested for a little while. Delta Force of all games, and I think it's because the game is free. And it didn't feel as you need to know everything about everything. As
They simplified it.
does. They simplified the shit out of it, so it let me be able to be like, oh, blue ammo better than gray ammo.
Yep.
Yay! I didn't.
And Arc
have
Raiders
to know
made it even
fucking
simpler,
all of it.
and they added prox chat, so it's even funnier.
Yeah, and Marathon, Bungie has never done. Well, they've done Marathon before. Marathon is not a new thing for them. That was like one of their OGs. But I can tell you right now, Bungie has got a long track record of dropping the ball and dropping it hard, and this is going to be the nail in the coffin for Bungie because Sony already doesn't believe that Bungie can pull it off. And I can see this now. Marathon comes out, Bungie drops the ball, Sony pulls the plug on Bungie within a year.
How did we get here?
I don't fucking know. We were talking about
Gaming.
gambling and gaming.
and gaming. And I think I had mentioned the sound that Arc Raiders has when you
Right,
get
yes. And
Yes,
like
you
the
did. That's how we
dopamine
got
hit
back to
and
the
stuff.
gambling thing, the sound is a big dopamine rush. When you win, it's a dopamine rush, et cetera, et cetera.
So I wanna bring up the inverse side, Brock. This is the side that you probably are more of a fan of because you are against gambling. So early in TikTok with live streaming and people finally being able to live stream their games like you can on Twitch, right? Instead of setting your phone up in front of a screen like it's fucking early 2000s YouTube. I went on and was playing Red Dead, and obviously you can gamble in Red Dead.
I remember this.
I got banned
I have a clip of you from this.
my ability, and this happened multiple times, from my ability to stream. Granted, I only lost my ability to stream for at most 5 minutes. And then they gave it back to me, but they were so locking down on no gambling on live streams to avoid people seeing it and getting hooked on it, that if you had any kind of gambling, you were banned. They looked at gambling in a game the same as gambling with real money. But what's funny is while that was going on, they were accepting money from advertisers for sports betting.
Of course they were.
So I'm over here not gambling with real money.
Do as I say,
you're
not
not
as I
giving them
do.
money.
And
You're not
interrupting my
giving them money.
stream.
Do as I
Exactly.
say, not as I
That's
do.
exactly the problem. And that's actually how I lost my account. If y'all remember, I was playing.
I remember when you lost the account. But
is this when we told you to make a new one?
Yeah. It was from live stream. I was playing COD 1 or 2.
That still exists, by the way.
This is a backup
That
account.
account.
That account still exists because I'm still friends with it.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's
I haven't
dead.
gotten rid
It's
of it.
a-
I'm actually thinking of doing all of my like just bullshit that's not a military skit or a skit in general, and just being like, hey, here's my day.
I mean, that's what most big YouTubers and stuff do after a while.
I need to. Kate's been telling me, she's been in my ear. She's like, dude, you need to, because you're so niched out over here. Do something over there. They'll eventually find your content and be like, I know that face.
Is that why you've been doing like a lot of just like talking about things while you're fucking lobbing balls?
Yeah, because I love it. I love golf so much, and I wanna break down the veil of like, aha, who's this character today? I want to be a guy. I want to be a person. I don't want to just be a character.
I will say, while I support your content and I'll watch and I'll like for you, I'm not a fan of the anime.
Boo this man.
So many people. Okay.
Wait, you're not a
this
fan
is
of the
what
what
I
ones?
love.
Which ones?
Hello, princess.
No, I just don't like anime.
That we could
I'm
go
just
to
not
the
an anime.
chow hall. That fucking dude. That whole like Discord moderator, so into anime that he thinks he's Japanese. Fucking like that kind of guy.
I know what you're talking.
And I one day was sitting around and I was like, this would be a funny little skit. And then I was like, no, there actually were a lot of dudes that were that into anime while I was in. And when I posted the first one, people were like, People are like, dude, it's crazy how many people are like jerking it to anime figurines.
There's so
and
many
barracks.
fucking weebs in the military. It's crazy.
It's
While they're
nuts, and
accurate,
it's fun.
and
But people hate it because it's cringe.
like I still support your bank roll over here. I just didn't like him, and that's not a stab at you. That's
It's fine.
that's just me.
No. That's my whole point with it. That what I love so much about those kind of videos. They're really easy for me to make, and I don't have to write a script. I don't have to do any extra work. I can just go and just have some fucking fun, and then post it. And then people it gets such a raw emotion. Whether either people love it or they hate it, but either way, people have to say something about it because they're like, "Oh my god!"
All of the out of regs fans, the ones that are watching this podcast. How long is it going to be before the next schmuck video? Put your bets. Place your bets.
Max 3 days.
Is he?
I'm just gonna tell you right now.
What
I'm already
from this recording, maybe.
Oh, good point. So all these bets wouldn't matter then.
That's not necessarily true. It'll be when they see this.
Very well.
Yeah, I noticed the schmuck hasn't been a thing in a while.
I just made one a couple days ago.
I thought he was dead.
I do hate doing it. He was dead for a while, and then I revived him in another universe. And
I know, just all of a sudden
Schmuck
is a corporal somewhere else. It's like, I thought he died.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he did. And well, did you not see that the ghost of that schmuck that died possessed this corporal schmuck?
Yes.
And yeah, it was stupid. And
I don't like thinking
it was
about
fun,
how
but
long
then after
ago,
that,
how long ago the original was.
A long time ago.
That wasn't even an intent. I fell into that. I fell right into that. This has nothing to do with anything about the podcast. I apologize. Sports betting's bad.
Actually,
Okay, it's not bad. It's bad if you
Also,
don't really know how to control yourself.
If you have a fucking teenager, check their phones for this shit because
holy shit,
dude,
it's so easy to bypass any kind of age restriction for this stuff. Because there are high schoolers that are like, I'm too afraid to do it, and their buddies are like, well, give me your money plus some because I'm taking a risk, and they're placing bets for their buddies because they just said, yes, I'm 18.
They're literally like the bypass to get into these kinds of apps is like there isn't much stopping people that are under 21 from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
While we're on that, who's willing to bet that Discord goes back on their facial up?
I don't think they will.
Thing?
I don't think they'll go back on it.
They will.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will.
And
I think there's been too many cases of really bad things happening on Discord with minors that they're trying to find a way to curb that, which I respect that.
But the problem,
I just don't like that they get hacked and then my information's out there.
The problem with
it's a vendor. It's not going to them.
The problem with Discord doing this, and I understand they could say all fucking day that they're doing this to protect the kids, but the truth is they're not doing it for that.
It's about the kids.
They're doing it to collect your fucking data, and they're using an AI to determine your age based off of games you play. To literally, like, the AI will inject into your computer to see what you're playing, what you're doing off Discord, and look at all your interactions within Discord. So it's going to go through all of your user history in your servers and everything to determine off an algorithm if you are of age.
YouTube's already been doing that.
They all do it.
They all do it, but Discord was one. It was like a social media app that didn't do it, right? And it's just like now it's becoming a problem because how long before you have to upload your ID to fucking Facebook? Otherwise, you're locked out of your account or any other social media app, right? So like, I only use Discord to fucking for voice
most
chat.
people have a myriad of pictures of themselves on their Facebook, so they probably already know who's in.
I know this. I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, it's like I also find it very interesting that after a CEO change at Discord, they roll this out.
Doc, did you say Marietta?
A myriad.
A myriad.
Myriad.
Yeah.
There you go.
I knew what he meant.
Say it
I
with
just
me.
chose to
Myriad.
ignore it.
I didn't. What
I'm not
you
ignoring
initially said? That's not what I said.
You said Mariata.
You said
No,
Mariad.
you're adding. No, you're adding an A at the end of it.
Okay, you still said Mariad, but
It's Myriad.
Myriad.
That's how
Are we
you
doing
pronounce
this
that word.
right now? This is
Yeah, no,
this is what we're
seriously. I
doing?
just need to hear you say it right. Myriad.
You can do
All
it.
right.
Come on. No, Myriad.
This is tomato.
This dude's
All right,
fucking
I'm done.
right
I'm
now.
done with this bit.
This
I'm
dude-
done with this bit.
This dude's a fucking retard. He doesn't. He can't ever lean into a bit. He's like, this is like when an autistic person takes something literally, because autistic people sometimes can't take a joke. Trust me. I'm one of them. Can't take a joke.
I'm the same.
They take a joke literally because they didn't comprehend that it was like a metaphor or a joke. So it's like,
I'm still lost.
there it is. See?
I might need to go get tested because now I'm curious. Because it's so every day, Kate says a joke to me, and I'm just like, and I'm just like,
But why would someone do that?
No, that's not like. What are you talking about? And she's like, it's sarcasm.
I'll give you a
dude.
fucking
And I'm
example.
Like, oh.
One that actually just happened. The fucking Roblox joke that me and you made at Doc, and it took him, and that's why I did the fucking Windows shutdown sound on him, because it was just like, it was like, you were like, but what does that have to do with Roblox? It's like, are you fucking kidding? Like, we were talking about like I don't remember what we were talking about. It was like some kind of
I feel like we're taking advantage of my calmness when I was on my medication.
You weren't on meds that time.
Yeah, well, if I'm
you weren't as calm because I'm currently editing the episode where you are on your medication, and that was not the one.
I've been on my meds for a good portion of episodes.
Well, yeah, though that be true, it's just like we were talking. We made the joke. There was like something about this dude talking to kids, and I was like, maybe he's on Roblox or something like that. It was a funny joke. I can't remember exactly what I said, and you're like, why would he be on Roblox or something like that? It's just like, what? We literally talked about this. There it is. He's doing it right now.
Yeah, he's processing. I love watching you process. Dude, that needs to be. You keep talking about how we need a twist cam or whatever,
which I noticed you haven't been doing.
Processing cam.
Which I noticed.
Have I not?
No, this episode you haven't.
Not
been
as
doing
much.
Not to a noticeable degree. Where I'm
maybe because it's more like what he does when he's like not paying attention or when he's bored.
Yeah.
No. Don't sit here and accuse me.
He's
accusations.
He's bored over here stimming.
Oh my god.
You do need to get tested. You're over here stimming. This is your stem.
Wait.
Wait.
That was a stem for dude. I did that for like a week around the house.
Do you know what
our
stem is? Do you know what our stem and around our house is? The fucking "We Are Charlie Kirk" song.
What the fuck is that?
We are Charlie Kirk. I see it on TikTok and shit all the time. I even have it on a sound. I literally even have it on a soundboard. I wonder if I play the soundboard, if you'll fucking hear it. You might not.
Over under when we get back on topic.
I feel like we've kind of beat this horse to a pulp.
This horse is dead, brother. This is like that fucking horse in the bed of the Godfather.
I'm willing to bet it's not.
I do think that we've kind of covered everything. I mean, from like the amount of things that you can bet on, the amount of apps that you can bet on, the negative impacts of it, just how social media, like websites will be like, you're not allowed to do this, but if you'll give me money, we'll promote it. So it's just like,
and kids being able to do it,
and it's all messed up. It's all messed up, and it's really ingrained in you from childhood. Like I said with arcades, with the coin slot machine things, and
I mean,
all this stuff.
Like, arcades are literally gambling.
That's like, yeah.
What fucking arcades are you guys going to? Literally, like
go to any modern arcade and look around and think about slot machines and gambling, and you'll see it, and you'll be like, oh,
you ever see that little coin?
Dude, most of the
coin
most of the arcades that I have ever gone to don't have slot machine shit. It's literally just like what's the fucking Time Crisis, a racing game, Pac-Man.
Have you been to a Dave and Buster's?
No.
When's the last time you've gone to an arcade?
There was an adult arcade in Milwaukee that me and Alicia went on a date, and it was like all classic games.
Was it?
That's the difference.
Dave and Buster's?
Adult arcades with the bar in it.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's is different because kids are enticed to be here. These adult arcades where it's literally just a bar, kids can't go into, so you only get the classics. You get pinball, you get Time Crisis, you get all the good shit. If you go into an arcade where it's made for kids, a lot of them are very like similar to gambling, or maybe not similar, but they're very like you can see the like. I see how that fits.
Or winning.
It's crazy. It's
I
wild.
mean, even then,
next time I go, we go weekly. I'll record it.
I take that back. Maybe it wasn't
sweet.
that. I went to Action Territory, which was in Kenosha, and it's like a fucking arcade and play place type place, and like you win tickets from games that you play that you can get for weird bullshit prizes at any arcade.
I'll show you what I mean next time we go, because we like to go. There's one here that on Wednesdays that like it's half off all games. So we go and we just go for a couple hours with kids and
You'll have
go
to
play
show
some
me
video
these
games.
because like I don't know.
I'll record it and I'll send it to you.
I
It's wild.
do not
Machine,
know
the
what-
claw machine. That's a gamble.
I don't think that's a gamble.
I don't think it's a gamble
I think
either.
that I don't
I
think
mean,
I don't
think
see claw machine as gambling.
I kind of in a
You're
way.
literally gambling with your money if you're gonna get a
Well,
prize or not.
it's not exactly because
It's a scam.
there's a technique
Yes.
to actually winning every single time. whereas-
Not those.
Whereas like gambling games like slots and shit is like pure chance, but they're like it's all pure chance versus like the claw machine where there's a technique to doing it to win every time. I've seen people do it.
Do you see like the bulldozer, like it pushes the coins off?
Yeah, that like
That's a gamble. That's a gamble.
No.
in a way, yes and no, but it's also like
It's 100%
like you could just throw a bunch of fucking, and typically what it is like most of the time they're not quarters. Sometimes they are like actual
They're
money.
usually the games fucking like the Dave and Buster coins or whatever.
But those
But
are
you're
the,
still-
the way Dave and Buster
you're
does it
still
is
spending
fucking
a lot of
the
actual-
quarter pusher. No one, I never really see anybody play on those.
That's what I'm talking about. Here
Adults
in Utah,
play on those.
here in Utah, they're like packed with adults sitting there for hours because we don't have casinos and shit. So they're just ping, 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 and then
There's also
like that's
probably
during the
nothing
week.
else to do.
You
Yeah,
drive
yeah.
2 hours to the border and you have a casino there.
You know what the saddest
You know what I mean?
gambling I've ever seen? The saddest gambling. You ever go to gas stations and see those fucking tap slots?
Yeah.
And then you just see like you go there on a Friday and there's only 3 or 4 of them but there's always people on them.
Yeah.
Like they get off work at the end of the day and they go to the gas station to fucking play on the little slot machine at the gas station. Saddest
They look like
gambling
they-
shit I've ever seen.
They
'Cause
embody the Marlboro.
there was like a fucking
cigarette.
hole in the wall BP next to my old house that there was always like these same 3 people that were there playing these stupid little slot machines. And I'm like, that's degenerate gambling right there. If you're going to like some fucking hole in the wall gas station that has 3 slot machines,
Scratch offs.
scratch
Scratch
off
offs is gambling.
well, that's lottery, but you have to be 21 to play them.
That's
It's different.
Well, 18 on.
It's not-
phone.
That's not really with the whole the accessibility on the phone though.
Also, they're
But
expensive.
the topic was gambling, not phone gambling, sir.
Well,
Oh, I
like,
thought it was
like Blake said, I think we've kind of beat this one to death. It's kind of
I'm willing to bet
Yeah.
that we didn't.
I'm not. I'll take the under on that one.
I'm willing to bet that you won't comment.
I'll put
Yeah.
I'll put money that we don't reach 100 views.
How much? What are we putting down?
$20.
Let's start talking numbers.
$20
That we won't.
That we won't.
I'm not taking that bet.
I'll take that bet.
You'll take that bet.
Ah! 100 views. I'll be the moderator.
So who's gonna win this bet, kids? Is it gonna be me or is it gonna be Doc? Who's gonna be the one that? And Doc, don't you dare go in there and fucking spoof the views.
How do you spoof views?
I don't know.
You just keep watching it.
You just watch on different
You only
devices.
get 2. Each IP only gets 2 views.
Unless you have a
No.
VPN.
I'm not tying up one of my devices for multiple hours at a time.
Just
Find out next time on the next episode of
the Rabbit Hole Protocol.
Rabbit Hole Protocol.
Have a good weekend, guys. Love you.
It's Pikachu.
Bye.